My dear children, I hope you all are keeping good health. Today, in this video, I will explain you exercise 12.1. Question number 1 is, get the algebraic expression. It means statements will be given to you and you will write them mathematically. Subtraction of z from y. There is a word from, so your second term will come in the first place and first term will come in the second place. That is, you will write y minus z. Second statement is 1/2, that is 1 by 2 of the sum of the numbers x and y. The sum of the number, first you have to calculate and then you have to multiply the sum by half. So you will write half for multiplication. No need to put it. You will just write sum in the bracket. Is it clear? We are not supposed to write multiplication sign. So you will get half in the bracket x plus y. This is half of the sum of number x and y. The number z multiplied by itself. First you will write z multiply by itself and you will get z square. Because we are multiplying variable by itself, there are two variables now, so you can write it as square. Your next expression is 1/4 of, it means 1 by 4 of the product of the number p and q. Again, product means multiply. So first you will write 1 by 4 and in the bracket you will write pq. No need to mention multiplication sign. PQ means P multiplied by Q. Numbers x and y both squared and added. First you will square both the number and then you will add them. So finally you will get x squared plus y squared. Number 5, added to 3 times the product of numbers m and n. Added to means you have to add 5 to what? 3 times the product. 3 times means 3 into mn. To this you will add 5. Next, product of numbers y and z subtracted from 10. So first you will write 10 and you will subtract product of yz from it. Sum of numbers a and b subtracted from their product. Again, product means ab and you have to subtract sum of a and b from ab. From ab means first you will write minus and in the bracket you will write a plus b. Moving to question number 2, first part, identify terms and their factors by tree diagram. With the help of tree diagram, you will show the expression, then the terms and then the factors of the terms. The first expression is x minus 3. So in the very first line you will mention expression. Now how many terms are there? Basically terms are added to form the expression and if there is any minus sign you will include that minus sign with the term. So there are 2 terms in this expression. One is x and the second one is minus 3. You will not say it as 3. Is it clear? So in the next level after expression you will draw lines for terms. How many lines? 2. So here you will specify terms. Your first term is x and second term is minus 3. Now you have to mention factors of each term. Now x, how can you obtain x? By multiplying the variable by 1. And how can you obtain minus 3? By multiplying 3 by minus 1. So the factors are, we will represent the factors in the tree diagram by shaded line. So the factors are 1 and x for the first one, minus 1 and 3 for the second one. So this is a tree diagram for the expression. Moving to next, your next expression is 1 plus x square. As you can see, how many terms are there? Yes, there are 3 terms. 1, x and x square. So here you will draw 3 lines to show terms. Terms are 1, x and x square. Now how will you show 1 in the factor? So 1 can be obtained by 1 into 1. X can be obtained as 1 into x, and x square can be obtained as x into x. So how many shaded line will be there? On each factor there will be 2 shaded line. So factors are 1, 1, 1x and xx. This is a tree diagram for the second expression. Your third expression is y minus y cube. So in this expression again there is a minus sign. You will include it in the term. There are 2 terms. One is y and the second one is minus y cube. Here cube means you will multiply y 3 times to itself. So how many terms are there? There are 2 terms. You will draw 2 lines and then you will mention terms there. First is y and second is minus y cube. You will not skip this minus sign. You have to use it with the term. Now for y, how will you obtain y? 1 into y. And for minus y cube, how will you obtain minus y cube? So for minus you will use minus 1 and for y cube there will be 3y. So overall 4 factors. So for the first one there are 2 factors and for the second one there are 4 factors. So you can mention factors as 1, y, minus 1, y, y, y. Your next sum is minus ab plus 2b square minus 3a square. So the expression is minus ab plus 2b square minus 3a square. How many terms are there? There are 3 terms. Minus sign you will include in the terms. So there are 3 terms in this expression. So first you will mention them using 3 solid lines. So terms are minus ab, 2b square and minus 3a square. If there is a positive sign, no need to mention it. But if there is a negative sign, you have to include it in the term. Now, in the first one, there is a negative sign. So one factor is minus 1. Second factor is a and third factor is b. How many factors will be there? 3. In the second one factor is for 2 and 2 factors for b and b because it's b square means there are 2b. Yes, variable multiplied by itself. Now, in the next one, it's minus 3. Either you can write it as minus 1, then 3, then a, or you can take it as a whole minus 3 and a. So, in the first one you will use 3 factors, in the second one you will use 3 factors and in the last one we will use 4 factor. How? In the first one, your first one will be minus 1 for negative sign, then AB. In the next one it's 2, BB. In the next one it's minus 1, 3, AA. Is it clear? Now, moving to question number 2. Again, you have to identify terms and factor. But in this sum, we will not draw any tree diagram. We have to identify terms and factors without using any tree diagram. So, we will use table. In table, we will make 3 columns. First column is for expression given to you. Second is the terms in the expression. And last one will be the factors of that particular terms. So, your first expression is minus 4x plus 5. How many terms are there? There are 2 terms. Your first term is minus 4x and second term is 5. Now, in the first term, how many factors are there? So, in the first term, you can see one is the numerical, that is minus 4, and the second one is x. In the next one, it's 5. You can mention 1 and you can skip it also. So, you will write only 5. Is it clear? Next, minus 4x plus 5y. Again, there are 2 terms, minus 4x and 5y. Now, how will you factorize the first term? So, you can mention in the first term, the factors are minus 4 and x. In the second one, the factors are 5 and y. Basically, you will split the terms to show the factors. You have to separate all the factors by comma and terms related factors will be the particular line. Your next expression is 5y plus 3y square. How many terms are there? 2. Both are positive. In the first one, you can see there is one 5 and one y. So, there are only 2 factors. In the second one, you can see there is one number 3 and there are 2y. How many factors are there in all? 3. So, first one is 5 y, and second one is 3y, y. Your next is xy plus 2x square y square. So there are again two terms. Your first term is xy, your second term is 2x square y square. Now in the first one, split it. Your first one is having 1x and 1y. So there are only two factors. In the next one, there is one number, 2x and 2y. So how many factors are in all? 5. So here factors are xy for the first term and 2xx y for the second term. Moving to question number 3. Identify numerical coefficient of the term other than constant. In this question, expression will be given to you. Now you have to find numerical coefficient. Numerical coefficient means in the term, the number that is present is termed as numerical coefficient. But make sure in this particular question, you will not consider the constant. Again, we will make table. There are 3 columns. First one is expression. Second one is terms. Here you will consider terms, but other than constant. You will not use constant. And then coefficient. So your first expression is 5 minus 3t square. How many terms are there? You can see there are 2 terms. One is 5 and one is minus 3t square. But 5 is a constant and you are not supposed to use it. So the term left is minus 3t square. We will use only minus 3t square. Why? Because 5 is a constant. Now in this term, you have to identify numerical coefficient. Numerical coefficient means number. Now in this particular term, what is the numerical coefficient? It's minus 3. Your next expression is 1t, t square and t cube. All are separated by plus sign. How many terms are there in all? Yes, there are 4 terms. 1, t, t square and t cube. But in this 4 terms, 1 is a constant. So you will not use it. Now the leftover terms are t, t square and t cube. Now you have to specify numerical coefficient of each term. Now here you can see there is no number present. No number means 1. This I have already cleared you in the last class. So no number means 1. So numerical coefficient of each term is 1, 1 and 1. Now the next expression is x plus 2xy plus 3y. Is there any constant here? No. All are terms that you have to consider. There are 3 terms in all. First is x, second is 2xy and the last one is 3y. Now in first one there is no number. It means it's 1. In the second one numerical coefficient is 2. In the third one numerical coefficient is 3. So the answer is 1, 2, 3. Your next expression is 100m plus 1000n. How many terms are there? 2. 100m and second is 1000n. Numerical coefficient the first term, it's 100. In the second term, it's 1000. Make sure children, while completing your work in your notebook, you have to write as I am showing you on the table. Question number 4, there are also first part and the second part in question number 4. Now question number 4, first part. Identify terms which contain x and give the coefficient of x. Identify terms which contain x means here you will consider only the terms which contain x. Once you will find it, then you will give the coefficient of x. Coefficient of x means except x, whatever is present in that particular term, you will write it as coefficient of x. Again, there are 3 columns: expression, terms and coefficient. Expression is y square x plus y. How many terms are there? There are 2 terms. First is y square x and second one is y. But you can see only the first term is having x. Second term is not having any x in it. So we will consider only the first term, y square x. Now coefficient of x means except x, whatever is present in this term, it will be treated as coefficient. So you will get the answer as y square. Your second expression is 13y square minus 8yx. Again, there are two terms. The first term is 13y square. There is no x in it. The next term, it's minus 8yx. There is x in it. We will consider only this term. Now, in this term, except x, what is present? Minus 8y. This is coefficient of x. Your next expression is x plus y plus 2. You can see there are three terms. First term is x, second is y, and third is 2. But out of three terms, only one term is containing x. So you will consider only that particular term. Now, what is the coefficient here? Except x, there is nothing. Nothing means 1. Next is 5 plus z plus zx. Again, there are three terms, but only one term is having x, that is zx. And except x, whatever is present in this term is treated as coefficient, that is z. Now, your next expression is 1 plus x plus xy. There are three terms. Out of three terms, two terms are having x. That is x and xy. The first term, coefficient of x is 1. In the second term, coefficient of x is y. Your next expression is 12xy square plus 25. Now, the first term is having x. Second is constant. You will consider only the first term. Now, except x, what is left? 12y square. So this will be treated as coefficient. Your next expression is 7x plus xy square. Both the terms are having x. So we'll consider both the terms. Now in the first one, leave x, you will get 7. In the second one, leave x, you will get y squared. Moving to question number 5. Classify into monomial, binomial and trinomial. I already discussed this in the earlier class. Monomial means expression with one term. Binomial means expression with two terms. Trinomial means expression with three terms. How many terms are there? Yes, two terms. So it's binomial. How many terms are there? Only one. So it's monomial. Basically, keep it in your mind, the terms are separated with plus and minus sign. Now, how many terms are there? 3. So it's trinomial. Next, how many terms are there? Only one number is there. It means it's monomial. Next, how many terms are there? It's 3. So you will get trinomial. Next one, how many terms are there? It's 2. So you will get binomial. Next, how many terms are there? 2. Again, binomial. Next, how many terms are there? Only one. No plus minus sign. It means it's monomial. Moving to question number 6. State whether a given pair of terms is of like or unlike terms. You have to check the pair whether it is like or unlike. While checking for like terms, you will check only the variable. You don't have to check the value of the numerical coefficient. First one, both are constant and both are not having any variable. It means they are like. Now, in the second one, both the terms, numerical coefficient is not same, but both are having x. How many x are there in both the terms? Only one. It means they are like. In the next one, the numerical coefficient is same, but you can see first term is having x, second term is having y. Variable is not same. Basically, to treat terms as like, you have to check the variable. Because variables are not same, you will say unlike terms. Next, here you can see in the first term numerical coefficient is 14. The second term numerical coefficient is 42. But both the term are having one x and one y. Both are having one x and one y because the variables are same, so they are like terms. In next one, the numerical coefficient is same. First term is having 2m and 1p. Second term is having 1m and 2p. Variables are not same. Yes, the first one there are 2m, the second one there is only 1m. In the first one there is 1p and the second one there are 2p. So they are not same. So we will term it as unlike terms. In the next one, again coefficients are same. Numerical coefficients are same, but first term is having 1x, 1z. Second is having 2x, 2y. Variable list is not same, so unlike terms. Question number 7. Identify like terms in the following. Now expression is given to you. In this, what you have to do is number of terms are given to you. You have to identify the like terms. So we will move term by term starting from left. Your left one is minus xy square. Make sure not to consider the numerical coefficient. How many variables are there? Here there is 1x and 2y. Now you will search for it. The term which is having 1x and 2y. So you will list it out. Now here you can see here 2xy square. Again 1x and 2y. Is there any term left now? No. So what you will do? You will cut it from the list and write it in the answer. Yes. Now move to the leftmost term which is not cut. Now it's minus 4yx square. Now you will look for the term which is having 2x and 1y. Yes, here it is. So these two terms are like. Now again cut it from the main list and write it in the answer list in the next line. Now we will move to the next leftmost term in the list. So the leftmost term in the list is x square. Here the variable is x square. You will not consider numerical coefficient for considering the like term. Now the term having x square is minus 11x square. Still one more term is there with x square as variable. So how many like terms are there now? Here there is 3 like terms with x square. Yes, so you will cut them all and note down in the main answer. Now the left part is, you can consider, it's not necessary you have to move serially. You can take any term but you have to find the like terms. Yes, for example here I can take minus 100x plus first in place of 7y. Yes, now I will search for a term with x as variable. Here it is. So you will cut them and note down in the answer list. Next, let's suppose I will say I am checking for minus 11yx. So the term with 1x and 1y is 2xy. You will cut them, note down in the answer. Now both the terms left are like because both are having y in it. So what you will do? You will use them now. Cut them from the main list and write it in the answer. So you can see here whatever terms were given to you, you use them all and form the like terms. That's all for today. Thank you, children.